everybody, welcome to A Culinary Journey. I'm Luca, and behind me, this real tall guy, I feel like he's standing over me, is Jay Clarke. Jay, how's it going?
Good, how are you doing, Chef?
Fantastic. So you know what I'm trying today? You tell everybody what I'm trying.
Pearl's famous Potsfield relish.
Pearl's famous Potsfield relish, and this is your recipe, right?
This is actually, this is a recipe that my grandmother made.
Hold on. This is awesome relish.
Yeah.
And you would think that you could only put it on hot dogs and things like that, right?
Well, this particular relish is a lot different than what you see out in the supermarkets today. So back in the day when we were served the Potsfield relish at my grandmother's house, it went with everything: pot roast, steaks, everything that you can imagine with meat. It's just a fantastic relish that goes with it.
Awesome. So we have a hot version, we have a sweet version, and we have salmon that we're going to poach. We're going to be pan basting steaks with butter. Jay has a couple of cool ideas when it comes to that. And we're going to be grilling some pork chops. All of it as a condiment is going to get this relish. Absolutely wonderful. And guess what? Your culinary journey starts now. Hey everybody, welcome back to A Culinary Journey. I'm Luca with my great guest, Jay Clarke. How's it going, man?
Good.
It's great to have you on. We have some cool stuff we're going to work on.
Yes.
So you mentioned Potsfield relish. What's in it that made it so? And this is your grandmother's recipe.
Right. So this is my grandmother's recipe.
Yeah.
And growing up, like I said, we served it with everything, but going out in the supermarket, there's just not another relish out there like it. Basic ingredients. At the end of the garden season, she would just grab all the remaining vegetables, throw them in a pot, and we would have Potsfield relish, and then she would jar it and then give it to all of the family for the entire year until next summer.
Right.
So it was really a great way to kind of bring it back for her, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. But I tell you that this particular relish, we did the regular. This is what we grew up on, but then we did a hot, because that's a lot of fun when you do hot. So it's got some habanero in there. It's nice heat. It's got a nice heat, but it doesn't overwhelm you.
So it's your version of her relish.
Exactly.
So
yes.
yeah. So you like the hot one better?
Well, I think that instead of putting a hot sauce on your eggs or a hot sauce on any of your food, you put the relish with this, and you've got the best of both worlds.
Sounds great. Now, what I thought would go great with the relish when we first started talking about this is the 3 meats or 2 meats and 1 fish that we're doing today. What I'm going to do is rub an Ariosto rub on our pork chops, and we're going to grill the pork chops. One of the things I want to do when I grill, whether we're doing it outside or inside, first get the meat to room temperature. Take it out about a half hour, 45 minutes before you're going to cook with it, so it gets closer to grill time, to grill temp. And then we're going to get that on the grill, and we're going to let that kind of just hang out. That's a nice dry rub on the grill. Should we use the hot or the sweet one with this? What do you think?
I think the hot with the pork chop.
I like the way you're thinking. On the other thing I'm putting together is a little poaching liquid or a fumet for our fish. I took some nice pieces of salmon, some Atlantic salmon, fish stock and white wine we started with. And then I'm going to take some fennel fronds. It's the top of the fennel. Most people don't use them. They end up throwing them away. I don't like to throw anything away. I think that probably your grandmother was thinking the same thing, right?
That's right.
Don't throw everything
That's
away.
Right.
Put it in a relish.
Throw it in there. You don't waste. And
exactly. So we're going to get some nice fennel.
Magic happens.
And that's so when you found, how did you keep the recipe? Was it something your mom kept, or is it something she already had passed down to you?
Actually, my aunt, my cousin, continued on making the relish every year, and it's a long process to make it, and we would only get a few jars, so that really became a challenge for us to make it last for the whole season. So
right.
we grabbed the recipe and we started producing it, and it's been great.
So I added some Old Bay seasoning, salt and pepper. Getting back to a recipe. It's the easiest poaching liquid you can make. It's got fennel, it's got white wine, it's got fish stock, and then Old Bay and salt and pepper.
Now, can you get fish stock in a store? Stock's always, you get either
Good
chicken
question.
stock or you get a beef stock, but a chicken stock.
But
Or
a fish stock, probably not as easy to get. The best thing to do is go to your local fish guy and then ask them. But if they don't, get fish bones. Trust me on this one. If you could get fish bones from the fish guy.
Fishmonger.
Fishmonger. That just doesn't sound
I
right,
know.
does it? Remember the days when you could do that? You could go to a fishmonger. Everybody's in the store. So real quick,
we're from Keene.
I used to have one of those. So we're going to just get that poaching in there. It's aqua pazzo or crazy water. It gets nice and bubbly, and we're going to turn that down to a medium. So we're going to let that poach. So when you stole the recipe from your aunt, how did she feel about that when you told her you were going to do this?
Well, it was a 5-year process to grab the recipe.
To steal the recipe?
And I think after a lot of constant nagging, they finally handed it over. And we spent a lot of time trying to get it right, because it is a hard relish to make, and it does take specific steps. So it was about 6 months until we got the recipe where we wanted it, and then doing the hot one, that was kind of a nightmare challenge, because all of the different hot ways that you can make a hot sauce or a hot relish.
So did you have to taste them all?
I had to taste them all, so we could only do so many at one point. We had 5.
You almost feel for the guy.
So it was 5 times habanero, 5 times cayenne, and we'd just start crying, and it had to balance it down so it didn't overwhelm you. It was there, you felt it, but then it went away, so you weren't constantly doing this.
That's awesome.
So I think we nailed it.
Well, let's do this.
Is that the hot?
That's the hot. I'm going to try it right before we go to break, because in case it's too hot for me. Oh, yeah, everybody's ready for this one. So we're going to poach these. When we come back, they should be almost done. The pork, we're going to finish grilling. We're going to let it rest a little bit and cut it up. When we come back, Jay, we're going to be basting with butter.
Yes.
We're going to have a great time. We got ribeyes that we're going to cook. I'm going to try some of this. We're going to make sure we get that relish onto our salmon. You're going to get in there too? Here, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. There you go. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Woo! Hey everybody, welcome back to the Culinary Journey. I'm here with Jay. Jay, how's it going?
Great.
We're cooking up a storm, huh buddy?
We are cranking. This is great.
All right, so this is what we got going on. Jay's, we poached the salmon, and we're going to need some relish for that, Jay. And then
we're going to do the regular. We'll do the regular on this.
All right, sounds good.
So.
And did she ever try to do it differently, or was it always, could it have been different every time depending on what vegetable she had?
No, she was very consistent with it.
Oh, she was.
Yeah, it was something that you don't want to veer from.
Right.
Except for the hot, obviously.
Yeah.
But you really want to stay true to it, because it's got that unique flavor to it that, again, you just really don't find out in the market today.
Right.
So we put some of the regular right over it.
Sounds good. And then this one we want to do the hot on,
This one
right?
we're going to do the hot.
Yeah.
This one.
You all saw how that worked out the first time. I'm going to sneak around you.
Yeah. But see, now it's gone out of your mouth. You know? So it comes, it goes, it says hi, and waves goodbye.
Mine's still talking to me. I have a lower threshold eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah.
I'm going to dig into that.
Okay.
That's the one I want. We dig into the salmon, see if you like it.
Okay.
We're just going to eat. You know, we're forgetting all about you all out there. Did it again, you all. This makes me think of that.
Right.
Oh. So grilled, nice.
Grilled,
poached good.
Poached perfectly.
Yeah. Wow.
Get some
First
of
time.
those.
First time for me doing that.
Yeah.
That's excellent. You don't need just hot dogs for this. We have to save some of this for later. Now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they come out all right?
All the flavors are coming through. The
Awesome.
salmon's poached perfectly.
Wonderful.
Not that I'd have any doubt.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Now we're going to do something together.
Yes.
Right? Something you've been wanting to do.
Right.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. So
I'm going single spoon, though.
you going single spoon?
Yes.
I'm double spooning.
Okay.
All right,
You can show me double spoon.
Double spoon,
Right.
really easy. So we're gonna butter baste steak. How much fun is that? Butter
Yes.
basting steak. So why don't you grab the steaks for us, and we'll get it going. So we're gonna get our pans nice and smoking hot. What we need to do first is season these pretty well. Let's use some of that Ariosto spice, Jay.
Okay.
That's a blend of 15 different spices that I made up.
You made it up.
Yeah, it's
Are
got.
you jarring it?
Huh?
You jarring it?
I don't know. Maybe we'll
we
talk
can put
about
it right
that.
next to each other.
There you go.
Right there.
Pearl and Luca.
There.
Never thought that would happen, right? So we'll have to talk after the show.
Yeah, there we go.
We make deals on the show all the time. But that's a blend. It's salt and then 14 different other spices, including juniper, rosemary, marjoram, you name it, it's in there.
It smells delicious.
And I use it in everything we do. So we're going to heavy season that. We'll do some heavy season of salt and pepper because we want to get this thing smoking. We want these pans to get nice and hot. We want to get a nice sear on that. But what we're going to do a little bit
Salt and
different.
pepper now?
Yeah, a little salt and pepper. Actually, what we're going to do a little bit differently is before we get the sear on, what I'd like to do is kind of cook some of the fat. So what we're going to do is this. You could use this tong, right? And you could use the thinner one because this steak's for me. How do you like your steak cooked?
Medium rare.
Medium rare?
Yep.
All right, good. I'm glad I gave you this. We only have a 22-minute show. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the steak on its side. Now, the thing about ribeyes is that show's going to stay up by itself.
Yep.
The thing about ribeyes is that they have a lot of fat on them. And what we want to do is get that fat, which is, i.e., flavor. You know, it's all about the flavor. We want that flavor to really get into the pan because we're going to cook with it. Yeah, hold on to it.
Yep.
You know what we're missing?
What? Beer? You have one?
No, I thought, just saying we're missing. For some reason, cooking with you makes me think I should have a beer. I don't know why. Yeah, well, we all know why. So we're going to get some of that fat into there. And this is famous French chefs love to cook like this because they love to get all the fat in. They
That's
take
a great
steak,
idea. I've never done it this
Yeah,
way.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's the first time I even thought of it. No. No, and then we're going to get that fat in. We're going to kind of just let that get in there. It's almost like when you cook duck and you get the duck fat in first, right? And then all that flavor is going to go into the steak. So we're going to get on that side. Then we're going to turn up our heat a little bit higher. And then we're going to get it down on its side. So we sear one side. All right, next thing we want to do is start getting some flavor into the pan. You have a couple of flavors you want to put into the pan?
Well, the way I would do it, generally do it, is you throw the butter in and then you spoon on the rosemary.
Right.
So you put it on the rosemary.
That's fine.
Let's
Let's do that. We're going to get this one side seared. Let's
Yeah.
get some butter. I need to put some butter in my pan and in your pan. I just need a little bit, okay?
There you go.
I don't know how much you need. I just need a little bit. I'm going to season, salt the butter a little bit. I'm going to throw some garlic in there too because I want to get
Yes,
some
garlic. Got to have the garlic.
I'll leave it whole so it gets nice and.
There we go.
All right. Well, you put a little butter in there too.
Yeah.
All right. And here's where it gets good. Ow, watch out.
Yep.
All right, you're going to use some rosemary in yours?
Yes.
All right, see what I have here. I'm going to use some sage in mine. How's that? Sage and thyme in mine.
Sage and thyme.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
All right.
So you get that into the butter, let that start cooking in. Since you're not going to be using that sauce, don't worry about it. Now we're going to flip over. So we got one side seared. We flip it over. And this other side, when the butter's
yes.
Oh, look at you.
That is nice.
He's happy.
That makes
I love making my guests
that
happy.
makes happiness.
And then what we're going to do is we're just going to baste our butter onto there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might go with the one spoon. You got the nicer side pan. My
Yeah.
show's got to afford two of the same side pan, you know.
So, I think one of the things, we had a kind of long winter,
Right.
and I'm not Superman to go outside and cook on the grill.
Right.
So cooking inside, you can cook steaks inside. It's okay.
Exactly.
Especially when you jazz it up with
Butter?
splashing it, butter.
Look at you. You're a pro at this.
Yeah.
I'm giving up the show. I'm just going to eat Potsfield. I
Potsfield.
keep wanting to
There
say
you go.
some Pearlsfield. I'm going to get those two mixed up. Now, what this does is two things. One, you're cooking the steak from the bottom, but by basting it with the butter on top, you're also cooking it from the top down.
Exactly.
And then the temperature is just getting to right where you want to go.
And it should seal in all those juices. Right.
And searing it off helped a little bit. And then what we're doing is we're just cooking with more juice and more flavor and more butter and garlic and rosemary. Life is good.
It is.
We almost don't
This
need
smells
the
so good right now.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
We almost don't need the relish, but it will
Right.
only make it better at this point. So there's one more thing we're going to put
Yeah.
on there. So Jay and I are going to continue basting our steaks till we get the doneness. I'm going to go for a rare. You're going to go for a medium rare?
Medium rare.
All right.
Am I done?
You're almost done.
Okay.
And then we're going to let them rest. And when we come back, we're going to slice. We're going to put some relish on top, and then we're good to go. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back to A Culinary Journey. I'm here with Jay Clarke. Jay, we're cooking.
Yes, we're cooking.
We're having a blast, man.
Cranking it.
Thank you. So I got your steak's out resting.
Yes.
Mine's right there. Let that rest a little bit.
Smells amazing.
So let's put some relish on it. I'll put a little bit of hot on my one side, and we'll switch out. So tell me, so when you eat this, what do you think of? I mean, is this?
Well, growing up, when we used to go to my grandmother's house, it was with all of our family. Family that didn't live in the area, so it was a great time during the summer where we'd all get together.
Right.
And those were some of the greatest memories growing up, because we'd really only get to see them during the summertime at my grandmother's house. And it kind of, when we were talking about doing this, those were always the memories that I thought of. And we have a tagline, relish the simple things in life. And that kind of was, you know, the whole push behind this, is that those were the things that I relish, you know. I mean, if the play on words, but it really was.
Intended.
That was the idea, is that, you know, sometimes life goes by so fast that you got to take time and you got to relish the moment. You got to relish the day.
Well, this is awesome, man. And what better way to do it with steaks that we prepared?
Yes.
Right? Cooking
Yes.
inside. Let's dig in. Oh, I'm a
This
happy man
is
right
exciting.
now. This is why I do what I do, Jay.
Yeah.
Oh, mine's nice and rare. Hopefully yours is a little medium rare.
That's perfect.
Could have cooked a little longer.
Oh,
But that's okay. I'm enjoying mine. Hey, thanks, man.
I'm getting it.
You getting there?
Ready.
All right.
All right.
All right. We're going to relish time together.
Cheers.
Really.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah.
for coming on. This has been excellent. I love this. I'm going to use this now
Yeah.
because I'm excited about the pork with that. That was one of my favorites.
Yes. Well, you haven't tried this yet.
Yeah, let's go for it. Thanks again. We'll see you next time on A Culinary Journey.
Cheers.